Understanding is literally a well spring of life. We live in a world that if people do not understand something, let's talk about money. If they don't understand money, if they do not understand money, right off the bat, they get judgments. They make judgments of things that they have not investigated, they have not researched, nor have they informed themselves about. And it's kind of hard getting people to try to understand, investing in tangible assets. You have to understand this stuff right here, silver, kasef. This is money for the rich. That's why they store gold, silver, platinum, palladium, copper. I can go on and on and on because they're tangible. They don't spend much time at all in investing in this paper. They use paper in order to obtain this. That's what they do. Now, for those of you who all you know is this, it's hard for you to understand why someone like me and many of the other people who have chosen to inform themselves. I look at something today and I still marvel at this comparison. Here's one paper US dollar. And this is a 1 ounce coin, which if you had a silver eagle, it would say $1 on it as well, $1 value. But yet and still, this coin right here has 18 times the value of this. And people are belly aching because the prices are going up and down. It's volatile and stuff. And, but you think about it. That's letting you know how devalued this is compared to this. And that's why it's always good to have metals as a store of wealth. But, if you would do your due diligence and if you would just literally go out and inform yourselves, you will not be offended when you hear people like me telling you what you should, or suggesting, let me put it that way, suggesting, because I'm only making suggestions to you what I do. I'll give you another example. You're going to have to invest some time, and you're going to be disciplined in investing this time. And usually when it's, maybe an hour or so each night before you retire, if you inform yourselves with books like this, like Adam Smith, The Wealth of Nations, if you would read things like this, as opposed to comic books, watching the NBA and the NFL and trying to keep up on the latest scores and figures. But if you would watch things like this that will inform you about what sound money is, it will change your mind. And make no mistake, that's the reason why a lot of people today who do not understand investing, they get offended when I get on here and I start talking about sound money, because they simply don't understand. And this stuff has got to stop. Uninformed people giving opinions about things and intruding into things that they know not of. Because you think about it, their whole disagreement is simply to sway those who are already in ignorance, simply to sway those who are not informed, to continue to keep you in an ignorant state, so that when it comes time for a collapse, or when it comes time for something to go awry, or whatever it may be, that you're not informed. And of course, when you have a world without rule of law, and the trucks no longer are running, and I know I'm giving dismal events here, but even before that, when you start thinking about it, it's not bad coming down the road, since we're going to continue to keep printing money. Does anybody disagree with that? Meaning we're going to continue to keep devaluing the dollar. Does anybody disagree with that? So knowing within 10 or 20 years we're going to be, instead of what they tell us, since they're fudging the numbers and cooking the books, knowing that we're going to be right now with 17 trillion, that's what they say, we're going to be $38 trillion in debt And they don't have the stomach to balance the budget, and neither will they balance the budget because we are a war machine. The military-industrial complex is doing well, and is doing well with money created out of thin air because what they did was they stole the wealth of the people through laws by taking the gold from them, fining people and stuff, and giving them paper while they themselves store wealth. You know, on my phone right here, I have an app on here. And that app is called Gold Live. And on this app right here, you know, I get to keep up with the markets. And I get to keep up with mainly the precious metal market. It has gold, silver, platinum, palladium, rhodium, and copper. Those are the ones that I have on here. And it updates quite regularly, you know, especially if you choose to update. It comes from it's an app from Kitco. I constantly stay abreast of that. That's just like right now, I'm looking at the silver prices and stuff, and I need today, as a matter of fact, today put in another order for some more sound money because considering how that the purchasing power of this keeps declining, and I know they're manipulating the market, but it's amazing. This has never been to zero in the history of mankind. This stuff right here has never been to zero in the history of mankind. This has been to zero 100 times over, even to the points that they were using things like talent sticks in order to evaluate or to value what they would believe to be money because they were so broke as nations and they couldn't believe in the benevolent goodness of man. But, you know, again, if you would just, you know, inform yourself of history, inform yourself of what people are doing today, you know, educate yourself. You know, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you some discipline. It's going to cost you some time. But if you would educate yourself, you would change your mind about a lot of things that you believe so staunchly today. You know, if you would just literally just take the time and investigate the things that I'm saying, you'll realize that these positions that I've adopted, I've actually adopted them very slowly. And I've taken my time before I adopt these positions and done my due diligence, and I've informed myself because I have no ambitions whatsoever at all. I don't believe that there's a deceitful heart or a lying tongue that has ever been in my mouth. Nor is there a deceitful heart nowhere in my nature. I have no desire whatsoever at all to be that way towards my fellow man. As if anything, I guess I would be called today kind of like your modern day patriot. Probably like part of the modern day Hunt brothers. And most of you people don't know who the Hunt brothers are. But you know, over in 1 Kings 5, 1 Kings 15:5, it says, and David did what was right in the eyes of Yahweh. You see what I mean? And I guess the first step is to evaluate yourself and ask yourself, who are you doing right by? Are you functioning by your own book of the law? I mean, why can't we receive some intelligent sayings that come, you know, from people who have gone on before us, who understood time and who understood, you know, what was going on as far as the nations go. You know, there are a lot of intelligent men that we could receive a lot of things from. And then it also says, look at this, that King David, the king of Yisrael, he was a Hebrew. It also says, and had not turned aside from anything that he had commanded him all the days of his life, except in the matter of Uriah the Hittite. I mean, that's a pretty high opinion of a man. Out of all the days of his life, he only turned from one thing, and that was it. And the Most High forgave him of a lot of stuff. I mean, you're going to see him in the kingdom. But I sincerely would say is that people really, truly, before you start giving opinions on feelings and emotions, I think it will be in your best interest if you'll stop being so controlled by the things that have been sold into you and then start informing yourself and then, you know, and rather than function on impulses and being driven by emotions and feelings you don't stand, educate yourself. You'll be more informed. And you'll make sound choices and sound decisions. And that's in every aspect of your life. It makes no difference what front it is. You hear, if I said it once, I said it 1,000 times. It could be political, social, economic, religious, home front, family, survival, education. The best education that there is the type of education that you would inform yourself. And listen to this. Do not ever take financial advice from someone who is broke. And never take financial advice from someone who is in debt, because it's just simply nonsensical and it just doesn't make sense. If you're going to take any advice from anyone whatsoever at all, peer into their lives and see if they believe what they preach and teach by the way they live. Then you would have a course to be able to chart. But you first really truly have to investigate and do your own due diligence, especially as a gentleman.